The historic impeachment trial is over. Plus, another case of the coronavirus is being investigated in Ohio, how the state is changing their procedures. And in sports, the best of the best in the TVC Ohio played on Tuesday night, and there might be a new top dog in the conference. Newswatch starts right now.
It is, therefore, ordered and adjudged that the said Donald John Trump be, and he is hereby, acquitted of the charges in said articles.
The impeachment of President Trump is over. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch. Thank you for joining us. I'm Spencer Charlton. Breaking news tonight, President Trump was found not guilty on both articles of impeachment. The Republican-controlled Senate voted to acquit the president about 2 hours ago, but this is not unexpected. The Senate rejected a Democratic-led effort to call witnesses and subpoena documents last Friday, setting the stage for another similar vote today. Both votes were mostly along party lines.
Today, we will fulfill this founding purpose. We will reject this incoherent case that comes nowhere near justifying the first presidential removal in history.
President Trump did not talk about impeachment at the State of the Union address last night, but he did address both houses of Congress. He laid out his vision for the next year, and for the election, he focused on issues like immigration, the military, healthcare, and the economy.
The state of our union is stronger than ever before. If we hadn't reversed the failed economic policies of the previous administration, the world would not now be witnessing this great economic success.
But some Democrats pushed back, saying the booming economy is not helping everyone.
It doesn't matter what the president says about the stock market. What matters is that millions of people struggle to get by or don't have enough money at the end of the month.
Meanwhile, tensions between the White House and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, have heightened since the impeachment charges. Pelosi was visibly angry throughout the speech, and as President Trump finished his address, Pelosi ripped up her copy of the speech. And as President Trump starts to gear up for re-election, Democratic candidates for president are just finding out who won the first primary vote in Iowa. More numbers came in overnight from the Iowa caucuses, most of them a day late after an app malfunction. The app was designed to deliver results faster and more efficiently, but caucus chairs said they were getting error messages when they tried to use it to report results. State and federal officials insist there was no foul play and no hacking involved. Iowa state and federal officials say there was no foul play or hacking involved in the app malfunction, but Ohio's Secretary of State is not taking any chances when it comes to elections in Ohio. County Board of Elections are implementing new security measures using the more than $12 million Ohio received from Congress in 2018. Frank LaRose says the money is being spent on things like cyber attack detection, tracking hardware, and security training. In addition to new high security in Ohio's election process, LaRose says what happened in Iowa could not happen in Ohio. He says one reason is because Iowa uses a caucus system, while Ohio uses the primary system. Ohio uses voting machines that count votes and leaves a paper trail. LaRose also says County Board of Elections have a direct link to his office to report their results.
This app that has been used in Iowa is something that would have never passed the scrutiny that we have here in Ohio for the way we do election night reporting.
Ohio Democratic Party Chair David Pepper says every state should move to a primary. He says Iowa is an example of how state parties are not designed to run elections. And as Ohio works to tighten security in the election process, the website of the state treasurer was hacked. The Columbus Dispatch reports that Robert Sprague's office learned of the attack on Monday. They say 3 pieces of outside code were put in the website, but none of the payment systems were compromised. The website was rebooted and is now back up and running as normal. The Department of Administrative Services said no other state government systems were hacked. Now let's go over to Adlai for our first look at your local weather.
Hello, I'm forecaster Adlai Karlish, and Today it's been quite an evening and rough day, to be honest. It hasn't been the best days. 39 degrees was the high today. And we're going to take a look at tonight. 37 degrees with on and off rain. Chance of rain 90%. Winds coming from the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's really just not been one of those days that you really want to really talk about. I mean, right now it's right in the 30s. Rain really had just started really getting there, really getting its groove, and it's going to keep going throughout the night. And it's going to keep going throughout the night. And it's going to really be one of those rough nights just to go through. It's only going to get down to 37, though, on and off rain. Chance of rain, 90%. And it's really just going to continue throughout the night and even towards tomorrow, which is going to be difficult for those people trying to get to work.
Well, hopefully we can see some warmer temperatures and some less wet days, and like we had only a few days ago when it was in the high 60s.
Yeah, those days are long gone, and they won't be back for a while.
Thanks, Adlai. Nelsonville has a new city manager for now. Scott Frank was voted to be the interim manager by Nelsonville City Council. Former city manager Charles Barger retired on January 31st. Nelsonville City Council interviewed 6 candidates for the position, and it took City Council about an hour of interviews and deliberation in executive session to decide. Frank is a 20-year military veteran with prior management experience.
You know, I've been managing people and supervising people since I was 20 years old, so I have a lot of experience working with others.
Frank begins his work for Nelsonville this week, but there has been no announcement from Nelsonville whether he will assume this position permanently. And while Frank starts his position in Nelsonville, another public official is ending his. Belmont County Job and Family Services Director Vince Gignali was fired on Monday. WTOV reports that County Commissioner decided to remove Gignali over his handling of personnel matters. Gignali had been director for almost 6 years. Commissioners are working to determine who will take over the department. Ohio University is offering certain faculty and custodians an early retirement to help save money. Employees just received the announcement this afternoon. The program is offering 608 faculty 1 year of their current base salary and an additional insurance supplement if they retire or, quote, voluntarily separate from the university by the end of May. Eligible employees include tenured professors, associate professors, and administrative staff, but not employees of the Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine. 66 custodians are eligible for this program as well. They would receive $15,000 or 100% of their salary, whichever is less. They will also get additional funds for buying insurance. The university's Board of Trustees approved this program just 2 weeks ago. This personnel move is one of the ways Ohio University is trying to make up for more than $19 million budget deficit that is projected in the next 4 years. Targeted employees have 45 days to make a decision. Another case of the coronavirus could be in Ohio, how the CDC is making it easier and faster for states to test on their own. Plus, a new study from the World Health Organization is predicting an increase in the number of people getting cancer. Why we need to reverse this trend. Those stories after the break. Stay with us.
These icebergs are amazing.
Journey to the icy ends of the Earth.
It just looks like Mars.
Where the secrets of the past.
We're on a beach.
We're on a beach 3 million years ago.
Hold the clues to our future.
This place is so amazing.
This is the stuff that gives us a glimpse into a past warmer world.
Humans are geology. We are impacting this planet.
Polar Extremes on Nova.
On expedition.
I'm in Mexico with a crack team of cave divers on an expedition where no one has been before.
Check that out.
What could possibly go wrong?
Everything could go wrong.
Zero visibility, and it's really tight.
No way.
It's like a river flowing underneath the water.
My brain is popping. There's so much more than we expected.
This is what adventure is all about.
You come to Vegas, the food is absolutely amazing. This is secret sauce. How come you didn't teach me? It's a city that constantly is growing, and then you have this Chinatown. Your food is so good, it's unfair.
We have a traditional Taiwan food.
Mongolian hot pot.
Hainanese chicken.
Tempura noodles. Tempura noodles, nice.
Okay, perfect.
There we go.
No passport required.
Dating is never easy, but for many Chinese women, their worth depends on being married. In the eyes of those who love them, they're not complete unless they have a husband. For these women, being single in their mid-20s can mean defying society and their family. If choosing your own path meant risking everything, what would you do? Leftover women.
More than 5,000 people are being quarantined on 2 cruise ships in Asia. The concern is that passengers and crew on the ships off Hong Kong and Japan were exposed to the coronavirus by infected passengers. Health screenings are taking place on both vessels. The Diamond Princess is anchored off the coast of Japan, while the World Dream is docked at a Hong Kong cruise terminal. The coronavirus has infected more than 20,000 people in mainland China and nearly 200 worldwide. The spread of the virus has prompted the U.S. CDC to distribute 400 test kits. Each kit can perform up to 800 patient samples, The kits allow local officials to be able to confirm cases themselves rather than waiting for confirmation from the CDC. And there could be another case of the virus in Ohio. The Ohio Department of Health is investigating but won't say where the person lives. The department is also changing how it will share information about the coronavirus. Starting tomorrow, the department will post the numbers of confirmed cases and how many people are under investigation twice a week. The Ohio University Chinese Learners Association is asking for help to fight the coronavirus. The OU-CLA is calling on the OU community to donate money and medical supplies to help those affected, most in Hubei province. The list of desired donatable items include medical gloves and goggles, as well as coverall garments. The money and supplies will be directly shipped to Hubei's hospitals. And in other health news, the World Health Organization is predicting that the number of cancer cases could increase. It's the second leading cause of death in the United States, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Mandy Gaither has more in today's Health Minute.
If current trends continue, the world risks an increase of 60% in cancer cases over the next 2 decades. That warning from the World Health Organization, which is urging cancer services to be stepped up. The problem isn't more kinds of cancer, but overwhelmed health agencies. The organization predicts more than 80% of new cancer cases will be in low and middle income countries where survival rates are currently lowest. Why? Those countries are committing their energy toward fighting infectious diseases and improving maternal and child health at the expense of the long-term challenge of diagnosing and treating various cancers. Last year, more than 90% of high-income countries reported comprehensive treatment services for cancer in the public health system, while fewer than 1 in 6 of low-income countries did so. The WHO Director General suggests we could save 7 million lives over the next decade by targeting the right science to each country, by expanding universal health coverage, and by getting key members of each country's healthcare community to collaborate more. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
WHO highlights a wide range of ways to prevent new cancer cases, including controlling tobacco use, vaccinations, screening, and treatment. There's a new kid on the block at the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show. What fresh breed of pup will be making its debut this weekend? After the break.
And next on Newswatch, the rain is here, but snow is on the way. More after the break, but first, here's a look at your spots of local interest.
Dating is never easy, but for many Chinese women, their worth depends on being married. In the eyes of those who love them, they're not complete unless they have a husband. For these women, being single in their mid-20s can mean defying society and their family. If choosing your own path meant risking everything, what would you do? Leftover women.
This was incredible. incredible.
On Finding Your Roots, actor Essie Pather Murkerson.
I've always wanted to know where we came from.
Film director Ava DuVernay.
Fascinating that your whole history is just blank.
And musician Questlove.
Until an hour ago, I didn't know who I was.
Slavery.
I'm blown away.
Impacts family history.
He's what?
In unexpected ways.
You hit the jackpot.
Finding Your Roots.
He was a hero. Some called him cold. He brought crowds to their feet. He gave a voice to those who were silenced.
And it's just extraordinary when you look at his emphasis on doing what was right, even at significant personal cost.
He was a man with a foot in two worlds, a catalyst as a rural nation began to take its place as a global power. But above all, Benjamin Harrison was Indiana's president.
You come to Vegas, the food is absolutely amazing. This is secret sauce. How come you didn't teach me? It's a city that constantly is growing, and then you have this Chinatown. Your food is so good. It's unfair.
We have a traditional Taiwan food.
Mongolian hot pot.
Hainanese chicken.
Tempur noodles.
Handful noodles, nice.
Okay, perfect.
There we go.
No passport required.
Hello, I'm forecaster Adlai Carwish, and right now it is 37 degrees outside with humidity at 88%, pressure just under 30 inches, and the winds coming from the northeast at 7 miles per hour. So it's been a pretty bad day outside. As we do take a look right now in southeastern Ohio, 37 degrees in Columbus, 36 in New Lexington, 36 in Jackson. So all around somewhere between 37 and 36 degrees. As we take a look at the big map here, U.S. temp map today, it's pretty cold throughout the nation. Only down south in Florida and Atlanta, Georgia, you can really see any type of really warm weather. Most of the United States is pretty cold outside, so it's a pretty cold day for all around the United States. Moving forward here, tonight 37 degrees, on and off rain. Going to see mostly rain more, but it will be cloudy. Chance of rain 90%. Winds come from the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look tonight at southeastern Ohio, New Lexington at 35, Columbus at 33, Ripley at 39, and Jackson at 35. So all around in the 30s. Tomorrow, 43 degrees, rain early and often. Chance of rain 80%. The rain early, you might see a few moments of dryness throughout the day, but don't expect too much. Winds turning from the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour, so don't expect some rain. Tomorrow, Columbus at 35, New Lexington at 39, and Ripley at 53. So you're seeing a large temperature range between up northwest and down southeast in West Virginia, and Ripley, and Athens right in the middle at 43 degrees. So taking a look at the precip map for tomorrow, you can see that rain from the early morning. This is around 1 p.m. You can see that rain from the early morning now going into West Virginia. So taking a look at tomorrow night, you're going to see light to no rain, 38 degrees. At 10 p.m., 35 degrees in the late night. And at 1 a.m., that's when you see the rain transition into snow. And on Friday, we're going to see some snow. But take a look at tonight. Rain starts as rain, turns into snow. We're going to see about 1 to 3 inches of snow. Winds turning from the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So it might be a little slippery on the roads come tomorrow, Friday morning. Friday, on and off snow showers. Accumulation less than an inch, though. Most of the snow that's going to accumulate will go during the night. Winds coming from the west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So it's not too bad. You're going to see at the precip map, you're going to see that snow coming in. It's going to come through and show you. Take a look at your 7-day outlook here. You're going to see that Thursday and Friday looks pretty good, and Saturday you might even still see some snow, and Sunday will be the first day where we might actually get some sunshine. But for the start of the next week, it's going to be more and more rain, and it's just going to be some snow. It's snow during the weekend.
Well, hopefully we can see some warmer weathers on the way and finally start experiencing the first early days of this spring weather coming up, Adlai.
Yeah.
In other news, the 144th Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show is on this weekend, and you might see a new face this year. Show officials introduced a new contender in the competition at a Meet the Breeds event yesterday. Scott Rappaport has more.
In a show that features more than 2,600 dogs from 204 breeds, there's now a new kid on the block, the Ozawack.
What's an Ozawack?
An Ozawack is a sight hound. They're tall, slender dog that was bred to hunt hare and wild boar in Africa.
The Ozawack, like Bahir and Sunny here, is the newest breed to grace the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show this year, for the first time in the show's 144-year history.
So what is it that makes the Ozawack so special, you ask? You're asking, right?
He's my buddy. He sits on the sofa with me when I watch television. He follows me all around the house.
That's like any dog that's not a show dog.
Yes.
They make wonderful pets.
Also at today's announcement, an homage of sorts to the dogs from 100 years ago. The best in breeds from the Roaring '20s got a curtain call shout-out. The Wire Fox Terrier, Airedale Terrier, Cocker Spaniel, Collie, and Pointer. And for a bit of action, an agility test run for the cameras. A preview of the Masters Agility Championship, which will be held on Saturday. Ahead of the main event, the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show, now featuring the Ozawack.
Do you have something to say, Sam?
Which begins on Sunday. In Midtown, Scott Rappaport, CBS 2 News.
Last year, a Wire Fox Terrier named King won Best in Show at the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show.
Hello there, I am Jacob Murray, and coming up in sports, we will be seeing some new faces suit up for the Bobcats football team, and I'll introduce you to the ones that have just signed this Wednesday morning. And keeping with the football, a new rule might change where you see your Bobcats on game day. But first, keep it here on WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up on your public television station.
Come to Vegas. The food is absolutely amazing. This is secret sauce. How come you didn't teach me? It's a city that constantly is growing, and then you have this Chinatown. Your food is so good. It's unfair.
We have a traditional Taiwan food.
Mongolian hot pot.
Hainanese chicken.
Tempura noodles.
Handful noodles. Nice.
Okay, perfect.
There we go.
No passport required.
He was a hero. Some called him cold. He brought crowds to their feet. He gave a voice to those who were silenced.
And it's just extraordinary when you look at his emphasis on doing what was right, even at significant personal cost.
He was a man with a foot in two worlds, a catalyst as a rural nation began to take its place as a global power. But above all, Benjamin Harrison was Indiana's president.
On expedition.
I'm in Mexico with a crack team of cave divers on an expedition where no one has been before.
Check that out.
What could possibly go wrong?
Everything could go wrong.
Zero visibility, and it's really tight.
No way.
It's like a river flowing underneath the water.
My brain is popping. There's so much more than we expected.
This is what adventure is all about.
Dating is never easy, but for many Chinese women, their worth depends on being married. In the eyes of those who love them, they're not complete unless they have a husband. For these women, being single in their mid-20s can mean defying society and their family. If choosing your own path meant risking everything, what would you do? Leftover Women.
Welcome back, I'm Jacob Murray. TVC Ohio basketball is just starting to heat up as we near tournament time, and that was for sure the case this past Tuesday night, where there were two huge matchups that would showcase the top 4 teams in the conference going head-to-head. We start off the night in Albany, where the Megs Marauders stunned the Alexander Spartans 53-41. Weston Bear and Coulter Cleveland combined for 45 points in the Red Hot Marauders' 6th straight victory. The Spartans kept it close, but lost control of the ball game in the fourth quarter, being outscored 21-8 in that stretch. While this stunner took place, the Athens Bulldogs had themselves a dogfight in the Plains as well. The Bulldogs took on the Vinton County Vikings, seeking their first season sweep of VC since 2016. Braden Markin started off the game red hot and wasn't slowed down the rest of the way, finishing the game with 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Braden Whiting also contributed with 23 points of his own to help down the Vikings 72-63. This means that the Bulldogs have taken sole possession of first place in the conference, but there are still challenges ahead, meaning this race is far from over. Now we take a look at the game for the women's basketball team tonight against the Eastern Michigan Eagles. After their tough loss this past Saturday, they yet again, by another close score, the Bobcats will be on the road for the second straight game. Though they struggled defensively in that game, the offensive end has become an encouraging sign for the club heading toward the end of the season. They will be looking to bounce back against a 10-10 Eagles team. Eastern Michigan is led in scoring by Ariana Combs and Aaliyah Stanley. Defending MAC East Player of the Week, Cece Hooks, summed up exactly what this team needs to do heading down the stretch.
On defense, and last year we was one of the top defensive teams in the conference, so that sucks this year. We just got to be mentally tough and physically tough. We have ups and downs in games. Some games we play really well on defense, some games we're not so well, but we just have to have that mentality to keep working and keep pushing ourselves to get better and better.
The NCAA Division I and II National Letter of Intent Day to sign players occurred today, lending the Bobcats football team 4 signatures to paper earlier this Wednesday morning. The 4 players signed are Cleoris Englund, a defensive end from Lakeland, Florida, Demond Arter, an offensive lineman from Washington, D.C., Cameron Dorsey, a linebacker from Alpharetta, Georgia, and finally Rodney Matthews, a defensive tackle from Memphis, Tennessee. With adding Dorsey and Arter, the amount of 3-star commits has increased to 10 after today. In some offseason football news, MAC rules have forced the Bobcats football team to call a new sideline home in 2020 and beyond. The Bobcats will now utilize the east sideline at Peden Stadium, while their opponents will stand on the west side of the stadium. This switch occurred thanks to a MAC football student seating policy that was passed prior to the 2004 season. That states how student sections and the band must be outside the visiting team's bench area, where new security presence will be needed to adjust to these new rules. And you know, Spencer, very interesting set of rules right there. And the fans will be a little bit closer to boo the opposing team at Peden Stadium.
But you know, the fans booing or not, I'm sure we'll love sitting a little bit closer to that action. Thank you, Jacob. Imagine doing something you love for nearly 100 years. That's exactly what 103-year-old Ruth Everson is doing. Ruth's love for the piano began when she was 5, and she began taking lessons before her parents sold a cow from their farm to buy her a piano. Now she lives at Stearns Place Assisted Living, playing a small recital for the residents every day, Monday through Sunday.
You meet a lot of people by playing the piano, and I'm a people person. I like
Playing the piano became second nature to Ruth, and she has passed on her love for knowledge of the instrument to her grandkids and great-grandkids as well. Now let's take it over to Adlai for our look at final weather.
Hello, I'm forecaster Adlai Carwish here, giving you a look at the weather one last time. Tonight, 37 degrees. We're going to have some on and off rain throughout the night. Mostly on, though, chance of rain 90%. So even if you see a few dry spells, you're most likely going to see some rain. Wind coming from the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook here. We're going to start on Thursday. 42 degrees with a low of 29, and with that 29, it transitions into snow at around 1 a.m. That for most of Friday, it's going to be mostly snow. We're going to see 1 or 2 inches in between Thursday and Friday, which leads into more snow on Saturday. But mostly will not be accumulating, but you will see a few flurries on Saturday, 40% chance of rain, and Sunday, that's when you get that little bit of sunshine. We might just get a little bit of sunshine there on Sunday. 44 degrees is the high, but to start the week, it's going to be more and more rain. And I'll send it back to you at the desk.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Spencer Charlton. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at woub.org. Have a great night.
Calling all high school basketball fans, we're back for season 11 of Hardwood Heroes.